The real cost of gacha game pulling. Spoiler, it isn't hundreds of dollars, although it's kind of that too. Gacha games, where characters and items are collected via a randomized reward system, are a form of modern gambling that teens and young adults are most susceptible to. Gacha games, which get their name from Japanese gachapon machines, are online, free-to-play games that utilize a system of pulls and random rewards. Players pay a small amount for a chance to win a rare character, outfit, or item, with only a small chance to actually get the rarest option. Although these games typically give players a small amount of pulls for free, if players want enough to guarantee a character or other rare item without saving for several months, they'll need to shell out upwards of hundreds of dollars. Gacha games use flashy animations, colorful graphics, and cute characters, paired with an often low age requirement to draw in players of all demographics. Games like Genshin Impact pair compelling story and character lore with an easy-to-understand yet difficult-to-master combat system to appeal to many different players. Despite this, however, children are not the main ones at risk. It's teens and young adults. In a study by Jiwoo Han in 2025, Han examines the correlation between gambling-like behaviors and various factors, including age. Han found that exposure to gacha games at a young age had only a weak correlation to problem gambling severity, while time spent playing the games impacted the severity of the gambling behavior to a much higher degree. Interestingly, the people who held the highest rates of problematic gambling-like behaviors were not children. It was teens and young adults aged 15 to 20. So with everything seemingly geared towards children, why is it teens and young adults who are most at risk? Several factors explaining this are at play. FOMO, the fear of missing out, stress from school and work, along with peer pressure, are contributing factors for why this age range specifically is at risk of gambling addictions. In a paper by Suomi et al., one 20-year-old gamer illustrated how intense the fear of missing out can be, explaining, if there's a game that you like, but the only way that you can get items is through loot boxes or something, and the only way you can get those is by paying actual money, I have to pay money, but I don't really want to pay money. This FOMO is only further exacerbated by the short window of time each character is available. Gacha game companies know that if they can create a feeling of scarcity, players will be more likely to spend money on pulls that they wouldn't normally spend. But it doesn't just stop at overspending on games. In 2024, Tang et al. Documented a young man who developed a gambling disorder as a result of his gacha spending. The young man, who became financially unstable and emotionally distressed, mirrored the same cycle seen in traditional gambling addictions. Similarly, Saitonin found that players who engage heavily with gacha systems were at risk of transitioning to real money gambling later in life. All this being said, gacha games are not solely bad. Many games create a sense of community, with developers who pour immense amounts of time and love into creating worlds with incredible depth, characters, and soundtracks. Gacha games are often genuinely fun to play as well, outside of the cash-grabby aspect. However, that's not to downplay the amount of damage they can do. Gacha games are not like traditional gambling. They have a lot less restrictions, and only recently have they had to properly label how much a single character can cost. Although there's a lot of beauty and enjoyment found within them, it is also important to know what hides behind the cute outward appearance.